Jackal's ear perk up. He looks over at his mistress. You're unsure how he can hear you over all the pathetic moaning of your illusionary self, not to mention the sounds of the anarchy still filtering in from the outside. You freeze, your fingertips just inside the pouch. You can feel the faint heat of Azazel's body. Hope she doesn't notice yours. The dog knight looks away. You carefully delve into the pouch, press 2 fingers inside around a hard, sharp-angled stone and pull it out. Here's a sapphire. Nice work, champion. You palm your treasure. Since that went so well, you decide to push your luck and retrieve your sword. Why would I do that? Creep over to where the weapon lies on the ground. As soon as I touch it, wouldn't that just fucking burn in fucking fire? Creep over to where the weapon lies on the ground. Lean down, your fingertips only an inch from the hilt of the jackal, from the weapon. You watch Jackal's eyes. You don't want him to notice the sword move or disappear. Azazel suddenly turns, a scrying stone outstretched. She stares at your illusionary self and says, I pushed a little into the scry, and you, my dear birdman, shall replenish my strength. Those words bring Jackal's attention to his mistress, so you use this distraction to pick up your sword. Your illusionary self grows loudly at this bad news from Azazel. You use the cover of these sounds to creep away with more emphasis on speed than silence. Jackal clanks towards the wall where the sword has been. Did he notice it's gone? You don't look back, rather you focus on your stealthy exit, on avoiding Azazel as she walks towards your illusory self. Soon you step lightly over the headless succubus body on the floor. Once again you quicken your pace into a jog. The shout from the room you left behind in what must be abyssal. I believe our dance of deception has ended, says Egra. I think we should hide. You duck down a hall, then down another, and finally hide behind a pile of rubble in a chamber with a particularly demolished wall with a gaping hole to the outside. There's a brief shimmering before your eyes, and you know your invisibility spell has fallen. As you take a moment to catch your breath, you find yourself unconsciously bringing this sapphire up to look at it. It glows with an inner magic. Although this ought to be thrilling to a man who appreciates fine treasures such as yourself, you can't help but be unsettled by it. I hope this is worth it, you say to Egra. I'm already a wealthy man, and no longer gladly risk my life for trinkets. I shall take it from here, says Egra. The next thing you know, you're whispering strange words from a language that is either long forgotten or mere gibberish. The glow of the sapphire quickly fades, and then so too does the rich blue of the gem, turning to light grey onto pitch black. You grasp at the gem crumbles into dust. You gasp. Life increases 25? Holy shit. Why did morale decrease too? The gem's dark dust melts into the palm of your hand as you chant a final strange word. Heat bursts up into you. You gasp as your muscles burn with energy, strength. You stand up. At least you mean to merely stand. However, you launch into the air, nearly slam your head into the ceiling. Although the gaping hole in the side of the building, you see demons running past. An Orthrax demon snatches one of those small flying demons from the air and bashes his head against a broken down cart. The Orthrax is large and ugly, but you're certain he is not so strong. I shall break his bones and suck the marrow out. You think as you step forward, feeling a huge grin spread over your face. Mortal man is so easily corrupted from strength. Ever laughs in your mind. I shall convert this power to a better purpose before you kill yourself in glorious brutish battle. Okay. Life decreases 20 and favor increases 25. Oh, she pumped all of it into fucking other thing. Strength ebbs from your muscles. Your heart slows even as a euphoric glow erupts within. The feeling reminds you a little of the strange drug expelled by the flower in Dwala's garden, but this turn does not cloud your mind, rather it sharpens it. The power to transform power, that is one of the many tricks of the trickster, says Egra. Oh, she can essentially take away one of our things, morale or health, and then pump it into other things. Interesting. She did give us some life at least. I think this trade is very good. We got loads of favor for it. Transform to your own purposes, you say. Even so, I'm not complaining. Indeed, you should not complain, says Egra. That soul gem was infused with corrupted magic. It would have destroyed you. Transform to your own purposes, you say. Even so, I'm not complaining. That soul gem was infused with corrupted magic. Would have destroyed you. I don't know what that means, but okay. There was a certain sweet seduction to it, you say. That is always the way of corruption, says Egra. Now my father is pleased that we have found our own strength. His favor is ours. What good is favor if you do not use it, you say, joy spreading through you. Wisdom, my champion, purrs Egra. You creep over to the side of the hole in the wall and peers out. Most of the nearby city is low-lying ruins, so you can see perhaps a block or two with your dark vision. The demons, how long did the dark vision last? I think it was a day. The demons are restless, as they probably always are running about, lashing out at other demons, screaming things in their nasty languages, probably obscenities. You spot one of those toad demons like Orgaz from House Ruda here. This one looks a little smaller than the one you slew, but just as loathsome. There's another Bane demon with a long snake tail and many arms. This one is a woman, her breast bulging, her ring mail armor. In her 6 arms, she carries many weapons, including 2 long whips, which she cracks now at lesser demons around her. They gather to march upon the castle and join the Lich's forces, you say. This is what I heard Azazel and her dog speak of. That will not be a welcome development for the defenders, says Egra. Obviously, you say. Phobe is still there, Maiden Avis if she is still alive, the dwarves perhaps even Anne. Anne, says Egra with a lilt to her voice. You're a gentleman to not have forgotten about her. After all, it's been a few days since her garden triasque. Perhaps they will escape out the tunnel of shame, you wonder. It has collapsed, remember? They may use the goblin's hole as we did, although I suspect the labyrinth will be crawling with demons soon. The castle must not fall, you say. The army must not join the Lich. Now may be a good time to try to thwart them. This demon brigade seems uninformed still and is in disarray. Even for demons, says Egra. What would we like to do, champ? I think we should just leave them. A surprise attack. Attempt to get them to fight among themselves. Attempt to take control of the army. That's stupid. I think I'm just gonna let them fight them. I think we should just hide at this point because the fucking succubi, Azazel must be super mad at the moment and must be running around trying to kill everything in sight. So if she sees us, we're fucking dead. So probably should hide, but whatever. Attempt to get them to fight among themselves. Let's do that. I shall incite them to fight amongst themselves, you say. Morale increases 3. With demons, a very reasonable thing to try, says Egra excitedly. How shall we execute an illusion, you say? Maybe of some rival demons fixing for a fight. Wait, no, I already used illusions. Right, they might be wise to it the second time around, says Egra. Fine, then better to transform myself, as you are the godling of trickery and we have great favor from your father, so I shall trick the horde into thinking I am their leader, you say. Wait, I did not press take command of the army, what the hell? In so much as there can be a leader of demons, yes, this is possible, says Egra. I will then command one of the sergeants of them to attack the other, or I will say that there are traitors among them. There always are in any demon horde, I should think, says Egra. I cannot possibly think of anything that could possibly go wrong. Not liking that last comment from Egra, which definitely sounded sarcastic. You take a moment to think. While you say, well, the problem with an internal conflict is that I may be caught in it. Those I command to be slain may slay me first. Egra laughs. Yes, demons are rather quick to violence. In any case, I think taking leadership is an effective way to move this horde away from the castle, you say. Perhaps, says Egra this time without sarcasm. As you wish to be their leader, whom do you suppose their leader is now? Jackal mentioned a name that I cannot remember, Succubus. Anyway, why ask me? You seem to be the one that knows more than my senses accord you. Suspiciously so I might add. So she laughs. My suspicious champion. I've learned to be. I don't prefer it. No, I would rather trust. But little has been what it seems since I walked through the gates of the city. Whining is not a champion-like, says Egra. Now let us speak of what demon leaders you propose to be. Favor increases 2. You think for a moment, but of course the answer is obvious. Galmagus. You say, he is the leader of all those invaders. It does not matter who the leader of this rabble is, for Galmagus is higher. Truly, champion, I commend your choice, says Egra. I've been needing that armor and that mace of his. I think his demonic horse is dead, you think, trying to recall all you can about the Galmagus. I can make you look like Galmagus, but even give you some strength, but I cannot make you the Galmagus, says Egra. Even with the power of the soul gem, that is too much. Also, no mace. My father prefers not to create objects from thin air, and your sword will not transform. I can transform your clothes into an armor resembling that of Galmagus, but it will offer little protection. Understood, you say. But at least allow me to speak the horde language. There is no point in being a commander if I cannot give commands. Of course, a small measure of favor for that, says Egra. Clanking of armor echoes from the hall behind. Hall outside the chamber. Probably Jackal looking for you, and Azazel is likely nearby too. Not wanting to transform near your enemy, out the hole in the wall you go, creeping along, using the shifting shadows cast by flames of burning ruins as your cover. Soon you find another hiding place, this time behind a heap of rubble. Afraid there may already be a demon in your prospective hiding spot. You begin on the edge of the pile and find nothing more than debris, a large pile of excrement, most largely certainly by a large demon. Do you suppose he was bashful and wanted privacy to relieve himself, says Egra, amused. If I were a demon, I would seek privacy for the fear of other demons taking advantage of my vulnerable moment, you say, else get a blade stuck up. Let's move this along, says Egra, cutting off your thought. You feel a build-up of power within and you begin to grow taller, much taller. If it decreases 8, morale increases 3. You rise up and are soon head and shoulder above the rubble. You take a moment to inspect your body. You now wear the same red and black plate mail armor that you remember on Galmagus. You wear no gauntlets, revealing your large human-like hands with skin that has a reddish tint. Your sword, bow, and quiver must have been absorbed into you in the mysterious way that it does during your transformation. Empty-handed, you feel vulnerable. I'm strong. My armor feels no heavier than winter clothes, you say. What powers do I have, Egra? Nothing, she says. I give you strength to carry your armor and support your bulk. You have horns on your head. You might headbutt an enemy, although I recommend you find a weapon. But I've witnessed great spell from Galmagus, you say that. No, you don't get any of that, says Egra. Neville's hold. I don't even have wings. What sort of demon lord is he? The sword without wings, says Egra, chuckling. Darth Mel Loch Kriuzaz, cries a voice. Other shouts erupt, and suddenly you understand their abyssal tongue. The Lord of Kriuzaz, too tall to be hidden behind the rubble anyway. You take a step away from your hiding place, puffing up your chest and raising a fist. It is I, you shout in their demonic language. Feast your eyes upon my manliness. Always and with pleasure comes a woman's voice. You look up to see a lovely succubus flying down. This is getting too out of hand. Flying down, land nearby, although noticeably out of your range of your huge fist. A handsome incubus lands beside her. Guard yourself as you slumber, my lord, you say, as we would all wish to slay you, which such is our envy. What the fuck does that even mean? A threat of assassination, just a fawning compliment, says Egra. Why come here, great one, asks the succubus. Her eyes stray behind you to a large pile of demon pieces behind you. What do you say? To give you that gift, and to take control of this miserable rabble. She looked at the feces. I was just sharing back there. Don't mind me. To give you that gift, what the shit? That would be interesting. Man, this sucks ass. I don't know if I should haunt them or what should I do. To give you that gift, let's go with that. To give you that gift, you say, pointing at the feces of the laugh. The succubus and the incubus laugh too, although the laughter is forced. Everyone chuckles. You're making them nervous. Well, you shout at them. What are you waiting for? Eat. Both demons hesitate for a moment, but only for a moment, before they nod and pounce upon the pile of feces, scooping it into their mouth with great gusto. Are you serious? How dangerous is Galmagus that they're that scared of him? Great gusto. Egra laughs hard. My champion, you are a natural demon, dishing out such unnecessary and undeserved cruelty. None shall suspect me as an imposter now, you say, and perhaps I will get fewer answers, fewer questions. Egra laughs again. A true strategist, you stride forward, leaving the pair of demons behind to their meal. Unsure how Galmagus walks, you opt for a strut, your legs slightly bow-legged, as though your massive manhood chafes behind your armor, which actually it does. As you strut out for all to see, those demons, not too engrossed in their bowing and screeching or fornicating, notice you, and of these, some fall silent, while others snarl and scream out in surprise. You spot a long military pike in the clutches of a sneery demon covered in spike armor. You were trained with a pike in the Wellington army. You could use a long weapon given your new massive size. Give me that, you shout. Striding forward, the demon freezes in place, his eyes bulging. You seize the pike from him. He lets out a hiss, but says nothing. Perhaps the pike is perhaps 20 feet long. Holy shit, what is he? What Galmagus? Is Galmagus fucking Thanos or something? What the hell? Fucking 20 feet? 20, how much is that? 20, that is fucking huge. That's like 2 fucking floors. Fucking hell, that's huge. He lets out a hiss but says nothing. The pike is perhaps 20 feet long, yet in your hands it feels like no more than a spear. Will do for now. Soon all demons turn their attention to you as you climb up onto a crumbling wall that tends to give way under your bulk. From up here you shout out, I have come to take control of the miserable scum that makes up this battalion and bring victory. At this there are many cries and woos and hisses, most of which you think are positive, although it is difficult to say, even with your new power to understand Abyssal. A Bane demon slithers up, his many arms folded behind his back, his head bowed in submission. We are at your command, my lord. Gods help me, they are. You think this is not the sort of situation you ever really thought you'd be in. Now what? A few ideas come to your mind. I think we should send them to the Temple of Eternal Love. That would be fun. A few ideas come to mind for what to do. There is Zazel out there somewhere, perhaps very close. You might try to root her and Jackal out first. Another option would be to seek the current leader of this rabble and have them submit a proper transfer of power. Maybe you should first see to your protection and organize a group of bodyguards.